What's up, Sigmas? Recently, I coded a little Minecraft mod that I wanted to show to you today. And that mod is... Ooh. Get this showcase started. I'll begin with the different materials and blocks you can get in the mod. You have the Amongius ore, raw Amongius, Amongius fragment, Amongius shaft, Amongius ingot, and of course the Amongius cube. And also in this one, you have Amongwood and all its associated blocks here. Now, to get most of these items, you have to go to the new biome that I'll show off later, but for right now, I'll just show you what you can do with all this stuff. So if you take this Amongius ore here, when you mine it, it'll drop, around 2 to 5 Amongius fragments, or raw Amongius. See, that one's a big one right there. You can put this in the furnace, smelt it up real quick. As you can see, it goes pretty fast, much faster than a regular smelting wood. And so you can take these Amongius fragments along with any kind of wood really, and you can take it like so and craft an Amongius forge. Place it down here. The Amongius forge is the key to unlocking all the cool stuff that this mod offers. If you look all around it, you're gonna see some nice decorations. Now, to use it, you'll have to you'll have to know the recipes, of course. You go inside, you notice the beautiful decorations here. And if you make the recipe in the table, the result will show up right here. You can't take it, but if you press the forge button, there you go. You get your nice little item. It works just like a crafting table. You just got to press the forge button, you get it. Almost every item added into the mod is made with this forge, so I'll show you all the recipes on it for everything moving forward. The first super awesome item I want to show to you today is the Amongius storage container. It is the perfect chest alternative and is particularly suited to store items made out of Amongius. To forge it, you just need to take a regular chest and surround it with 8 Amongius ingots like so. Just put it in the forge real quick. And then you can place it down. You'll notice that it has a very beautiful interior. It has 43 slots in it, which is less than a normal double chest, but since it only takes up 1 block of space, it'll be more space efficient than, a regular double chest would be. Using it requires you to be very careful though, so I'll show you what I mean back at the testing chamber. Something of note is that when you place it down, it is seemingly impossible to pick up again. I'm trying to mine it here, but I just can't get it. But anyways, the thing about the Amongius storage container is that if you ever fill up a single slot with more than 64 items, it'll Anyways, since most Amongius items can only stack up to 63, you can completely ignore that restriction for them. Otherwise, you'll have to be careful about clicking items in. One of the first tools you can create using Amongius is the Amongius Blade. To craft it, first you'll need to make an Amongius shaft. With 2 fragments and a stick like this, you'll make an Amongius shaft. Then if you take these ingots here and these 2 fragments, you can craft them like so, a little bit of a sword shape, and you'll see the Amongius Blade. Now, the Amongius Blade only does 2 attack damage with a swing, so it may seem pretty weak on the surface. To show you its true power, we'll have to head back to the testing chamber. This is a harmless little weapon that will simply lift your enemies into the air. Allow me to demonstrate on my good friend Porky. As you can see, it is perfectly harmless. Look at him right there. Look at this little pig, hey? Okay, the next item to go over is the Amongius Pickaxe. It is crafted with 3 Amongius cubes and 2 shafts like so. Yada yada, you get the idea. Let's get this show on the road. This item is very interesting because it mines very fast, but it doesn't have a lot of durability. Let's pop over to the mine real quick so I can show you what I mean. When you use an Amongius Pickaxe, there's a chance for every mock you mine to drop some amount of Amongius. A fragment is more common than an ingot, which is more common than a whole block. As you can see from that little block, we got about 4 fragments. If you find this digging riveting, please watch the video on screen now. From just one pick, I got 9 Amongius ingots and 19 Amongius fragments. If you put Unbreaking 3 on that, you probably get a lot more. The real kicker though is the speed. The weapon this mod adds with a little bit of destructive power to it is the Amongius Launcher. You take a cube, 4 ingots, and 2 shafts, put them all together in the forge, and you'll get a launcher. To use it, you'll need to have plenty of Amongius fragments as ammo. Let's go to the middle of an open field to test it without breaking anything important. This weapon is very intimidating to other players. As it flies, it invokes the wrath of whatever gods you don't believe in, and they use lightning to strike it down. One fun little thing you can make out of Amongius is the Amongius Apple. It is very expensive to craft at 8 Amongius cubes and 1 apple, but the reward is well worth it. When you eat this apple, it will instantly kill a random player anywhere on the map, including the person that eats it. When you hold it in your hand, it will begin to damage you. Use it well. The last thing you can make with your Dragon's Horde of Amongius is, of course, an intercontinental ballistic missile. To craft an Amongius Missile, you'll need 2 blocks of TNT, a firework rocket, 4 Amongius ingots, and 2 Amongius cubes. It's a bit on the expensive side, but I'd say it's a fair price for what you get. You can use any kind of rocket to make it. Now, let's head to a special little spot far away from here to test this out. Hello, Rosnium.
Where am I? What the hell?
Don't worry, we're just gonna run some experiments. If you would
There's border blocks here. What?
If you would just stand still for a moment.
What?
To properly use the Amongius Missile, you'll first need to type the name of your target into this text entry box here, and then press this button. If you spell it right, it should say that the target is confirmed right there. Otherwise, if you spell it wrong, like this, it'll say cannot find target and the missile won't work. Okay, let's just make sure we spell this right here.
Wait, did you just say missile?
Don't worry about it, don't worry about it.
What the hell do you mean missile? What are you gonna do to me?
Sir, please just remain calm. When you're all set up, simply place it on the ground in clear view of the open sky. It will fly up and come back down upon its target with lightning speed. It'll work from a far distance.
What the hell? No, not again! Fuck!
Even really far away.
Does anybody hear that? Wait, what the fuck? Wait, no, not again!
It really is an all-around great tool. And the final thing I have to show you. Goodbye! Are you tired of your plain old boring house and your plain old boring biome?
No.
Of course you are!
What?
The Amongwood Forest is the perfect holiday destination / permanent residential location for you and your family. Meet your neighbors. Use exciting new blocks. And live out your dream. Just look at all these raving reviews. The world of Among Us also hosts many artistic beauties, from statues both big and small, to gorgeous paintings, to musical masterpieces. See if the Among Us Infection mod is the right fit for your Minecraft world today.